Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am Coach Sherry, and this is Real Talk with Coach Sherry. It's my podcast here on YouTube. And this evening, I wanted to come on to go over the 55 lessons that I've learned in life. With 55 years around the sun. On October 22nd, I celebrated my double nickel, my 55 years of life. And 55 hit a little different. Oh my goodness, 55. This is going to be a milestone year. I feel like it's going to launch me into so many different areas. I received so much clarity once I turned 55. We were going to go out to dinner, and the 22nd was on Tuesday. And I went into my closet to find something to wear, and I was paused by God. God paused me, and I just sat there and I was like, what? What are you saying? And y'all, he said so much to me. And I really wish I had a pen and paper to write it down. But what God had revealed to me is forever in my heart, in my soul, in my spirit. And 55 is going to be different. It's going to be a good different. And I can't wait. There is this huge movement right now going on YouTube for the 50 and over crowd. And it's amazing. So many new content creators are coming on here over 50. That's the hashtag. And they are starting their channels and doing it. We have something to say. There's a lot of wisdom when you've lived for 5 decades or more. And I feel that, it's going to flood YouTube with great information, great resources, great recommendations, great things that can help you through, and also it's going to be a place where you can figure it out because a lot of people over 50 are still trying to figure it out because they've been doing things up until that point either to please others, because of others, things that they had to do to make ends meet. And now they're at a point in their life when they could do what they want to do. And so YouTube is a great place to figure what that is. So, my 55 lessons that I learned, I was just writing it down. I could have probably written 105 lessons that I've learned because at first I was thinking, okay, this is going to, maybe I won't have 55. It's going to take a minute. But as I started writing, it just kept flowing. And I was like, wait, I have a lot of lessons. And I hadn't even touched the tip of the iceberg, but I wanted to put this down, in writing as well as here on YouTube because this is my legacy, so that my future's future can see some of these lessons in case I don't get to them, for them as they are being developed and groomed and growing. Let me see in the chat. Oh, I see Mrs. Newton's Big Family, Big Noise is in the building. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. Yes, God is so good. Oh my goodness. Your son's birthday was October 22nd, too. Well, happy birthday to him. That is a great, great day. I love it. That's the cusp. That's just making Libra. And it's always so beautiful. I've told people this that I don't recall a day of rain on my birthday. Never. And I hope your son enjoyed his birthday too, as much as I did. This was my cake and that my family gave me, and it was so delicious. It had lemon filling, which is my favorite. And it's weird because here in the Carolinas, it's when you request a filled cake, they expect it to be with icing. That's the first suggestion. Okay, whatever the icing is on the cake, is that the icing you want for your filling? And I'm like, no, I want lemon because where I grew up in New Jersey, having a lemon filled cake was the norm. That's how cakes came. If you didn't want lemon, you had to say otherwise. So I love, love, love lemon filled cakes. Yes. And I do see where you said God is good. He is. Let me tell you, when he talks to me, which is often, typically all day, every day, but there are moments like when I was in my closet that I just could hear his voice so loud and clear. And it's just about being obedient. It's just about receiving what he says. It's not always directives. It's not always him telling me what to do. It's sometimes it's telling me what to expect. It's telling me to own it. It's telling me to be it, to embrace it, to strengthen my posture around it. And when he tells me that, I do. And sometimes it may make people around me feel uncomfortable because they didn't receive that message or that memo and it wasn't for them. But it just gives me that confidence. It gives me that green light to move forward with even that much more self knowledge, self wealth, self awareness. And that's all any of us could ever want. But when you hear it from God's mouth, from his word, then you know that, you are on the right path. So that's why I'm like, listen, 55 for me is hitting different. And it's made me feel so much lighter, so much with so much, even that much more purpose and intention. So I'm very, very happy. All right, so let's go into these 55 lessons, and I'm just going to read down them. It's a whole list of things. I'm not going to elaborate on them too much. Maybe in future videos, if one or more resonates with you, and if you would like, you can leave a comment and let me know. Coach Sherry, can you elaborate on that? Can you give some more background? Because I feel like that's one of my lessons, or I feel that's a lessons that I need to learn. So how did you get to that lesson? How has that lesson really resonated with you? All right, so the first lesson for me out of my 55 lessons learned is listen to your mother when she says, I don't think you should go. Now, a lot of people, your mothers may tell you, or your primary caregivers may tell you to do something or not. And a lot of times it takes you years, decades even, to really understand that what they are saying, you really should adhere to. Luckily, I learned that lesson very early in life at the age of 8. So the sooner you can get to that point to listen to your mother when she says, I don't think you should go, or I don't think you should do that, the better your life will be, I promise. Number two, the best place to learn how to roller skate is on the street. And, I'm 55, so I grew up in a time where roller skating was a thing. It was such a thing that we used to roller skate to the store. I used to go to the grocery store for my mother on my roller skates. But learning outside was the best place to learn. Number three, know many people, but call a few friends. I know a ton of people all over the country, and I can call them, I can, rely on them, but very few do you call friends. It's one of those things. You may meet a ton of people, but you'll walk away with two good friends, and that's okay. And that is okay. Number four, even if you're just dating, don't accept a cheater. Some people think, oh, yeah, my man or my lady steps out on me, but I know once we get locked down, once we get married, things will change. I always say, marriage is very sacred, but when you are dating leading up to that bigger commitment, you really want to have someone that is exhibiting the values and the behaviors that you need in your life, that represents how you feel about yourself. So don't accept a cheater, even if you're just dating. You deserve better. And that is my number five. Know that you deserve the best. Always know that you deserve the absolute best. Number six, even if you're scared, do it. Do it. Oftentimes we'll find ourselves on that edge and we don't know if we should step or not. We can't see where it's going, but you have to trust that God got you. So even if you're scared, just do it. If He brought you to it, He'll get you through it. Number seven, I feel this. Every woman deserves a brand new home at least once in her lifetime. And I know that that may or may not be possible for some or many, but just let that be a goal, even. I feel like everyone deserves a brand new home. It could be moving into a brand new apartment complex and you were the first person to move into that apartment. But I always believe that a woman should experience that at least once. Number eight, buy assets and not liabilities. I think that, you know, um, Assets are more valuable. And I find that when people don't have good financial literacy, they tend to buy more liabilities. And I don't know if you're familiar with Making Money Moves with Pandy, or let me see who else. I shouldn't even start naming names. There's so many great people here on YouTube that give financial advice. But I would say to check those tubes or those channels out, because they really give you good financial literacy advice. You need to continuously build that IQ up, make it strong, but definitely buy assets and not liabilities. Number 9, talk to God all day. Um, you know, it's funny, saying our grace over food. And if I'm with a group and my grace is just that, it's grace, amen. And people will look and be like, "What?" Like, Coach Sherry, like, what are you talking about? But I'm like, I talk to God all the time. I don't have to have a long, lengthy conversation with him over my food, because I've already been thanking him as I'm getting my food. I'm thankful all the time. And it's interesting. I find that some people, they only use those graces before a meal to speak to God, but it really is important to talk to God all day. I'm going to pause right here at number 9 and check out the chat. Oh, I see Making Money Moves with Pandy is in the building. And I was just talking about you, Pandy, and that, for people to check out your channel for financial literacy advice for sure. Yes. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you again. All right. Now I'm using Restream, and the great thing again about this platform is that they have a notes section, and it's in beta, so I don't know if everyone would have access to it, but I have been able to write down all my notes for my podcast, which is really helpful, and it's on the screen, and it's just more. It's more sustainable than it being on a piece of paper, so I really appreciate this feature. Okay, number 10. Before you buy, ask yourself if this is a need or a want. Now, remember I said to, make sure you buy assets and not liabilities, but of course there are things that you need in your day to day. But again, if you before you make a big purchase of something, determine, do you need this or do you want it? Some people buy things and it could be an asset, but do you need that asset? So that's another deeper question. Just to be able to be a better steward over your money. I know we had started doing that years and years ago. I want to say back in 2001, after reading Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you have not read that book, I highly recommend it. It is still very relevant to this day. So before you buy, ask yourself, is this a need or a want? And you'll find yourself buying less and less things with that type of posture. Number 11, when you earn a significant amount of money, live just below your means so you can have a nice lifetime lifestyle and not a temporary nice lifestyle. And for this, I'm specifically talking to professional athletes. It's unfortunate that, if you move to a new city, you join a new team, the realtors in that area, the people in that area typically will know what your salary is. And when you get with a realtor in particular, they will always try and sell you a house at whatever your salary is. So if you have a $5 million contract, they're going to try and sell you a $5 million house. And if you don't know the difference, and if you don't understand the importance of living just below your means, and you buy that $5 million house, there's $5 million things you have to do for that home, the upkeep of it, the just a lot of things. And if you aren't making 5 million every year for the majority of your adult life, that can make your money dwindle quickly. So you want to be very smart with it, especially when you are purchasing your home and just living. You want to live to a certain level, understand what it costs to live that way per year, and understand what it will take to continuously have that amount generated year after year so you can maintain that. All right. The next is number 12. Don't think you can eat whatever you want and not gain weight, because everyone can get back fat. And that is something that's real talk for me. Growing up, I never could understand that when I would see it. And yeah, you just can't eat whatever you want because it'll happen to you too, for sure. Number 13, don't worry about anything because God sees everything. And that's a lesson. That's the last life lesson that my mother taught me literally a week before she passed away. She pulled me over and told me that. And it was so hard for her to get it out. I mean, at that point, she really was nonverbal, but she was able to get that out. And I will never forget her saying that. Number 14. Now this is for, the younger crew. In high school, being a football manager is a great alternative than to be in the marching band. Either way, you get into the games free. So, sometimes as a high school student, you're trying to get into those games for free. And, being in a marching band, absolutely you get in for free. But if you are a manager of the team, you also get in free. And you can wear your fly clothes on the sideline. So, number 15, be nice to everyone because character is how you treat those who can do nothing for you. And with that, I'm gonna leave that one right there. That's one of the deepest ones for me. It's something I live by every day, and I recognized that not everyone does. So I'm actually going to read that one again. Be nice to everyone because character is how you treat those who can do nothing for you. And I'm going to pause right there and go back into the chat. I see the sisterhood is in the building. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. I appreciate you for being here today. I met you earlier, so thank you. Let's see. All right, number 16, and this is sweet 16. 16 is one of my favorite numbers. 16, don't try to save people that don't want to be saved, they will pull you down. All right. Number 17, when you go out, always party like it's 1999. Have a good time, y'all. That's what life is about. It's not about doom and gloom, it's about having a great time. Number 18, don't take any moment for granted. Remain grateful. Everything, waking up, be grateful. Don't take it for granted. Don't wake up, woe is me. Oh my goodness, I'm still so tired. I just can't believe it. It's another day already. There are some people that did not make it. There are some people that are looking up at the flowers while we are able to still look down on them. So don't take any moment for granted. Number 19, respect is earned and not given. No matter what level someone is on, no matter who they are, where they're from, how much money they make, they still need to earn that respect. So if you are, just who you are, know that for yourself, that, just because you may be older than someone or whatever, you still need to live a life that is respectable so that you can earn that respect. And by being respecting to others as well. Number 20, savor every bite you eat. So many people, they are rushing through life, and when they're eating, they're just shoving the food down their mouth, nourishment for their bodies. But food is to be enjoyed, and it's not to be used in excess. But when you are eating, you should definitely savor every bite, because again, that's going back to being grateful. Not everyone has food. There are some people that are unable to eat meals because they don't have the means to be have those meals. They can't purchase it, they can't make it, they don't have the food for it, the money for it, whatever the case. So definitely savor every bite. Number 21, we all have an assignment. Operate in your genius zone. And when I say we all have an assignment, that's an assignment that God has given all of us. And I just heard about the genius zone. And it's a zone genius. Like, you need to really work in that. When you operate in that zone, that means you're doing something that you are a subject matter expert in, a SME. That means that you're doing something that is your passion, your purpose, that you love, that you're great at. And when you find someone that's operating like that, don't try to water them down. Oh my goodness, continue to put wood on that fire, let it burn, let it burn. And if that's you, you need to know. And when you understand what your assignment is, don't let anyone like narrow you down or put you in a pigeonhole or anything like that. All right, number 22. 22 is another great number for me. That's the my birthday. Okay, number 22. It is important to like and love your spouse and that they will like and love you too. Now, in relationships, so many people fall so deeply in love. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, like they just can't live without each other. And then it flips. Whatever happens, life happens, real life happens. And because they didn't get a chance to get to know them, to like them, truly like them, it's easy to dismantle that relationship. So I knew for me, and my husband knew for him, getting married, we needed to also like each other. We had a great courtship. We dated for 3.5 years before getting married. We were married for 3.5 years before having our first son. And so we really got to know each other and not only love, but like each other. Number 23, don't fear the start. A lot of times walking up to that starting line. Now, the other one was, if you at it, you jump, but don't fear the start of something. If you are on the fence about YouTube, about getting on camera, about starting your channel, don't fear that start. Just start. It takes one moment. It takes one push of the record button. It takes one upload. So don't fear the start. Number 24, don't expect life to send you an invitation. You have to seize the moment. So many people are waiting for that tap on the shoulder. They're waiting for that invitation. So come on. But that invitation does not always come. 9 times out of 10, it won't. So when the moment arrives and you know that you want to be part of it or be involved, you need to take the initiative and do that because that invitation is not going to come. 25. The path to success leaves clues. You have so many nuggets that are dropped, and you drop them because you didn't see the value. But those are the clues that you need to get to that path of success. And they will help you get through it because they'll either remind you of things that you've already gone through successfully. They will have those people that are your part of your network that can help you introduce you, that are gatekeepers. So always understand all those nuggets, the little and the large ones, the less obvious and the most obvious, they all are going to um, leave leave clues to the path of success. Number 26, tomorrow's opportunity is determined by yesterday's responsibilities. So some of these life lessons that I have out of my 55, I actually also put them on my community wall. So I wasn't able to pull all of them off of my community wall, but if you are following me and are part of my team and you've gone on my community posts and such, then some of these may sound familiar, but those are up on my community wall because they are part of my life lessons. All right. Number 27, life is about quality over quantity. So many people want so much time, so much things, food, things. But my point is, you want quality. You can have 100 of something that's average or below average, and just two that are amazing, that are brilliant, that are high quality. And I will take those two over the 100 any day. Number 28, you can learn from anyone. Just be willing to learn. You can learn from anyone, any age, any economic, socioeconomic group, any gender, culture. You can learn. Just you have to have an openness, a willingness to learn. That's important. Number 29, own your differences because they make you unique. Number 30, live life by design. You are God's masterpiece. God does not make any mistakes. We don't have any imperfections. How can we say that when God makes no mistakes? We are all perfect in his eyes. So live your life by design. Live your life as if that you own, that you are that perfect masterpiece that was developed by God. Number 31, always have faith over fear. And that is something that sometimes when I'm in sticky situations, I have to remind myself. There are some videos of me walking in my neighborhood, and we have this one back in the woods path. And every time I go on that path, it just really makes the hair on my arm stand up. I know it's all types of animals back there. And I have to chant to myself. And sometimes I even say it out loud: faith over fear, faith over fear. And when you start saying it enough and it resonates with you, you start to calm down. When I say that, it actually calms me down. Number 32, serendipitous moments happens all the time. They are the unexpected, profound opportunities, connections, and experiences. Serendipity is one of my favorite words, and to see it happen and to recognize when it's happening, when you have those unexpected opportunities and connections, it's something special. Just look for those moments in your life on a daily basis. Number 33, life is a puzzle with an infinite number of pieces that represent your experiences. Each piece fits and is part of the big picture. As a career coach, I hear people all the time saying, "Oh, yeah, I did a little bit of this, a little bit of that." And I always want them to go into detail about what is a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because that makes them who they are. And it's very important to not minimize those little bit of this or a little bit of that, because that's part of your puzzle and that is making you whole. That's making you who you are, and it all makes sense. When you're going through it, and that little bit of this, a little bit of that, it may not seem like it, but when it all comes together, you recognize, wow, that skill, that thing that I learned back there, that experience has prepared me for this moment. And there's the value in that for sure. Number 34, integrity is one of the most important values. For me, that's one of the most important values a person can have. When I'm around people, I need them to have integrity. Number 35, treat your employees like people. Don't treat them like workers. Don't treat them like you're the boss. Treat them like people, and you will be so amazed at all the things that can come out of them. Treat them like they have value. Treat them like they are part of the team. Treat them like they are important, and treat them like they are people. Number 36, God God is in the blessing business. Yes, he is. Number 37, arguments aren't worth it, but discussions are. Arguments will take your energy so low. And oftentimes in an argument situation, you don't hear the other person. You only hear yourself. And that is not how you get over a situation. But when you are discussing something and you are truly listening to the other person's side, that's when results can happen. Number 38, life is simple as long as you stay in the moment. I tell people this all the time when I'm doing coaching sessions, when people are worried about this and that, things in the future, things from the past. Yes, they develop us, they form us to who we are. But when you stay in this moment, in the present, the part of your life that you absolutely can control, which is the right now, it makes life that much simple. It makes it that much simpler for you. So practice staying in the moment. Number 39, never down your dreams. There's no dream that is too unbelievable. I say stranger things have happened. I say any given Sunday. So never down your dreams. Number 40, you can't control what other people say, do, or think. And that's a mantra that I totally live by. Number 41, what someone thinks of you is none of your business. If they thinking about you like that, that's none of your business. That's their problem. If someone is not preferring me for whatever reason, that's none of my business. That's something on them. And you are not here to please everyone. You're here to please God for sure. Number 42, don't lose your identity as a wife or mother. And I'm saying this specifically to women because I'm a woman, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and women, we can lose ourselves in our family, but our family's identity, that is part of who we are, but that's not who we are. We are our own identity. God created us in his image, and we have to move forward in life and gather our own identity. Who are you? Not just as a wife, not just as a mother, but who are you? Understand who you are. Number 43, one person's journey or success is not yours. You have your own story to write. And that ties in with number 42 of don't lose your identity as a wife or mother. Yes, your children, your spouse may have success. You may have gone on the journey with them, but you have a story. You can have success too. And you need to write your story and the successes of your life. Number 44, every next level of your life will demand a different you. And, that's something that we all need to understand for ourselves as well as for those in our circle as they continuously elevate. Not saying that they have to shun or that you have to shun those around you that you love, but it is going to demand a different you. Your work ethic may have to change. You may have to read more and increase your vocabulary. You may have to understand the importance of networking and go out more. There's just certain things that will be required for your next level. And when you are reaching for that next level, when you are dreaming of that next level, when you are wanting that next level, you need to consider how is that going to impact your life and what will the demands be for you to be different while you're at that next level. Because what happens is when people don't prepare for that, that's when the struggle begins and that's when they tend to fall. And I call that having a fear of success. Number 45, always appreciate what's going on around you and be able to recognize the great things from each day. And I was thinking about that because sometimes as an icebreaker, I may say, tell us, share out something great that happened to you personally and professionally. And when it comes to professionally, people can absolutely say what it is. It's easy. Oh, they may have completed a project or what have you. But for personally, it takes people a minute to think about what happened, great in their life personally. So every day you need to either journal it or definitely consider it, think about it. What happened great that day? At the end of each day, before you go to sleep, think about something great that happened that day. And pretty soon you'll start looking for those great things each and every day. Number 46, friendships are seasonal, but with no expiration date. So you have friends, absolutely. And sometimes you're in constant contact with them. And if you've lived around the country like I have and moved different places, been part of different teams, different organizations, you meet new people, in order to cultivate those new relationships, sometimes you have to pause the other relationships because it's hard to manage so many different relationships. And so I find them to be seasonal, but they have no expiration date. So even if you haven't spoken to someone, I just reached out to a dear, dear friend of mine, and I still refer to them as dear friends. Once you are my friend, you will forever be a dear friend. And I had not spoken to her literally since 2013. 2013. And just the other day I was able to reach out to her because she is an attorney in Houston, and I have a friend whose son is in his third year in law school in Houston, Texas. And I reached out to her to see if I can connect him to her so he can have a conversation with her about options, opportunities, and find out more about what she does. She answered and immediately said, "Of course." And that is a true friend. So friendships have no expiration date. Number 47, intellectual property is very valuable. Number 48, you are worthy to be in the room, at the table, and express your voice. Number 49, your roots are deep, so there is no reason to fear the wind because you're not going to fall. You are deeply rooted. Number 50, mind your own business. Someone else's business is not yours to spread, to say. Just like what someone thinks about you, that's not your business. Mind your own business. Number 51, laugh hard every day. Laughter is food for the soul. And if you don't have the freedom, if you feel you don't have the freedom to laugh where you're at for whatever reason, go somewhere, be it in the bathroom, in your car, out at the park, amongst friends, amongst family and loved ones, wherever you can, every day, try and laugh hard at something. If you find that it's coming towards the end of the day and you haven't laughed, look at a video of your favorite comedian. Laughter is so important. Number 52, love each child individually. So if you are a parent, definitely love each of your children independent of each other. Don't love them just as a whole, like these are my kids, but understand the differences in them and love those differences. Be able to point them out and share what they are. Those are their superpowers. Those are their strengths. I tell my kids all the time what their superpowers are and why I love them so. And each are so different and they see that and that makes them move in this world independently strong, positive, and self assured for sure. Number 53, skincare is overrated, time consuming, and expensive. Listen, I remember in high school, my mother's sister would always give me skincare, the cleanser, the toner, the moisturizer, and it would be this expensive stuff. I don't even know. And she would always, I know it was expensive because she would tell me that. And I know she never bought anything that wasn't expensive. And so she would always say, "Oh, Sherry, I brought this for you. It's this is the best, this, that, and the other." And every time I would use it, I would break out always. And so it got to the point where I just stopped using anything on my skin. And now all I use is water. And the lotion I use is whatever I lotion my body with, whatever's left on my hand, I put that on my face. And my daughters are always trying to do things with their skin. They always are, experimenting with this cream or this peeler or face mask or what have you. And I tell them, listen, I'm the after picture. You come from me and your dad has great skin too. So you don't have to do all that. I'm here to tell you, you're spending your money on things you don't really need. And they still do. And they break out and then they have to go to the dermatologist or put the star thing on us, for pimples or whatever. And I'm like, I never get any of those. And I'm not just saying that because I'm 55. I've never have ever since I stopped using those skin regimens that my aunt used to give me while I was in high school. So I learned that a long time ago. It is overrated. Just use good old fashioned water. Number 54, joy is a choice. You can choose to have joy in your life and to be joyful. And number 55, and in my real life, I am known for this. In my real life, I say this to all of my workforce development participants. I say this to my team. I say this to anyone that's going through something that I know is about to be a breakthrough for them. And this number 55, I bet the farm on it. And that is trust the process. And with that, I am going to leave you. I hope you enjoyed these 55 life lessons that I've learned in my 55 years around the sun. It's been my pleasure sharing this with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope